Today I'm going to show you how to use your Gmail account or a Google account to host documents on a Google Drive so that you can share them with clients or anyone really. So first thing, just again, this is about using an existing Gmail address or Google account. If you don't have one of those, that's another topic. So this is really for people who already have a Google account set up. So if you have a Google account, you're probably very familiar with the Gmail inbox. This one is empty, which you probably aren't familiar seeing, but aren't used to seeing. But this is an empty Gmail inbox. Don't let that throw you off. It's your standard Gmail inbox. And what I want you to look for is the sort of, we'll call it the Brady Bunch grid up here on the close to the upper right. That when you hover over, it says Google Apps. Right. This is a way to just switch between different Google apps that are part of your Google account. So if you click on that, you can click on Drive. Right. That'll open up another window, which is a Google Drive, which you may be familiar with, you may not be familiar with. Basically, Google Drive is kind of like an online version of your Windows File Explorer if you use Windows, or your Finder if you use a Mac. It's basically just a directory of folders and files where you can store files, documents, photos, anything. For us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do some of the basics to show you how to set up a folder, upload a file, and then how to set it so that you can share it with somebody. So you may, when you come to this for the first time, you may actually have things in here that you didn't realize, because sometimes when you look at stuff in Gmail, you may inadvertently save it and it will go here, or it may be something that you use all the time. So your drive may look different than what you see right now. Don't worry about it. The big thing is, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a folder for a place to host files that we want to share. So I'm going to go ahead and click this new button, and I'm going to say I want to create a folder. And let's just call this, we can call it anything really. I'm going to, for the sake of what I'm showing you now, I'm going to call this itineraries. Okay, so I'm going to create that, and you should see a folder show up here. Great. You could also create, for example, let's say a folder of business docs. That could be a folder. Or a folder of photos, right? Anything you use. Same type of setup that you'd use for any of your standard, file explorer programs that you use. And right now it's showing it like this. You may see, sometimes you can see it as a list, similar to your regular file searching. There's a couple different ways to view things. Doesn't really matter. You can sort by name, last modified, lots of similar stuff that you probably use all the time in your computer to find things. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into one of these. We'll go into itineraries just because that's the example that I have to show you. So I'm going to go into there, and when you want to add files to this folder, you can either literally drag them to the screen, which is what we're going to do, or go back to this new and click on File Upload, and it will pull up your regular file search system. I actually have the file I want to load right here on my desktop, so I can just drag it over here. It's going to upload it, and now this file is here in my Google Drive. You see, it also stays on my desktop, because really what I'm doing is I'm just creating a copy that I'm loading online. So I'm not really moving it. I'm just creating a copy that's online. So it's still on my computer. It's now also in my Google Drive. If I double click on it, it will open up in a viewer. Depending on the type of file, you may or may not be able to open it up in Google Drive. This is a PDF. That should work pretty well. And so now it's there. So what can I do with this? The biggest thing that you can do with this is if you right click on this, right? Everybody knows right click, you get a lot of different options. If you ever want to download it, you can. For some reason, if you need to get a new copy, you can download it. You can make a copy, you can rename, you can do a lot of different things. What we're going to do mostly is going to be around sharing and getting a link. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to tell my Google Drive who's allowed to see this file. So I'm going to click share, and it's going to give me options for who can see it. Right now, I'm going to click got it here just to get rid of that box. Right now, it's showing me that it's only shared with me. I'm the owner, and that only people who have specifically been added to the list are going to be able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and change that to a much broader group. So this area here in this get link is where I can say I want to share it with just people on a list. I want to share it with everyone in my organization. In this case, it's Huckleberry Travel, or anyone with the link. That's what I want to do. And so then the other aspect of this is to look at what people can do with it when they have the link. So right now, it's set to viewer, but there are other options like commenter or editor. And that's if you're really going to collaborate on documents with people. For the purposes of this demo, this is really just something I want to share so that people can see it. So I'm going to leave it as viewer, okay? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link so that I can use it in an email or a text or an itinerary or anything. So I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to click done, okay? You'll notice now there's a couple little, it almost looks like little people heads next to the name of the file. And that's because it's now shareable, okay? So all I have to do, if I want someone to see this doc now, I can just send an email, right? I'll send it to myself. This was a Vietnam itinerary, spelled right. I'll say, here is the itinerary. And I could either just paste the link there, or if I want to make it look a little nicer, I could highlight this. Let me clear that out of the way, sorry. And down here at the bottom, there's a little, like, it's not the paperclip, but it's the one next to it that says insert link. And I can paste it right here. To what URL should this link go? And now this text here is hyperlinked, and so that link is what people will go to if they click on it. So either way, it's the same thing. Basically, it just depends on, you know, if you want to make it look nice or if you want to just put the full link there. Either way. So I'm going to send that. Somebody gets the email, and now they can click on it. And there you go. So obviously, you know, you don't necessarily just have to use it on an email. If I wanted to put this link on a website, I could do that. It makes it really easy to host documents so that you can link to it from a website or an email or even Facebook or anything, and not have to actually send everybody an actual copy. So that's a quick little lesson on how to use Google Drive to host documents. Hope that was helpful, and look forward to sharing more tips another time. Thanks.